Welcome to Winning in the Shadows EPL breakdown. Andy and Corbin, we're going to be breaking down 3 games for you. Corbin, you're Man City through and through, so we got to talk Man City and
Yeah.
Man United here. We're also going to talk Everton, and we're also going to talk Arsenal and Forest. But we got to start with the one that's near and dear to your heart: Manchester City, Manchester
Yeah.
United. Um, I know you well enough to know that there's going to be an under on Manchester United at some point. Uh, but what's your breakdown on
You're
this game?
spoiling my play already.
I know
Well,
you too well.
it's not just an under on United. I'm taking an under on this whole game.
Okay.
Right. So, firstly, let's rewind. So we've had an international break. Before that, I mentioned that City were playing Brighton and that I was going to the game and I had lost like 8 of my last 9. Well, true to form, we were 0-1 to begin the year after dominating the first half and being 1-0 up. We conceded 2 goals in the last like 15 minutes to lose exactly how we did last time I went there. Um, it's just thankfully I'm not going to this game. So for anyone that's worried about betting on Man City, I will not be there to curse my team. Um, I'm taking the under 3.5 potentially, or the under 1.5 in the first half. Both sides are just really clunky, especially going forward at the minute. City are playing well; they're creating chances, but they're just not putting any of them away. Like it's like we dominated the first half. We had so many shots, and it takes a little bobble through to Haaland to even get 1 goal. It's just something's not clicking. I'm a huge fan of our youngster Oscar Bob, who plays on the right wing, but again, he's still inexperienced. He's still learning, and our left wingers. None of them can shoot. We had Marmouche, who is really good, but he got injured on international break. He's done his knee. He's going to be out for a while, it seems. So it's going to probably be Doku, who just runs down the wing, comes back, runs down the wing, comes back. He can't shoot. I'm not sure. He's just pace. He's nothing else particularly. City just need more balance in their team because, quite honestly, they're a bit all over the place. Cunha is a huge miss for United. He got injured. Both teams have injuries. It's a derby game. You kind of can almost throw out the form in respect to these kind of games sometimes because United will turn up and they will, even if they've lost, say, 10 in a row, they will turn up and they will find a way to at least be solid for this game. I was actually quite surprised. 7 of the last 8 have gone under 3.5 goals, which for two big teams like this, you wouldn't suspect. Um, it kind of depends on their approach to the game as well. Because I expect City will always dominate possession. It's how deep United sit. If United put all 10 players in the box, it's going to be a 0-0 or a 1-0 potentially. But if they come out and try and actually play, it could be any score for either team because both defenses have so much weaknesses, particularly against counterattacks. So yeah, I'm going to lean to the under 3.5 total or under 1.5 for the first half. It's one of those I feel like you'll get a pretty good grasp straight away what the game's going to be like. You could probably watch a few minutes and see if United are sitting deep, at which point I would take the under, total under. If they come out and try and play against City, I'd take the over because there's just going to be
Okay.
space goals galore. So
All right. Let's move on to Everton and Villa here, which will break down on this game.
yeah, so this game's probably actually one of my most interesting for the weekend because we have Villa who have done well the last couple of years, but have started slow again this year. They started really slow last year, and it's just a to me it's a matter of time. They have too much quality. They're going to pick up at some point, but it's a question of when. Uh, they have a bunch of new signings. It's how do they incorporate them? Do they do it so quickly? Because they're coming back from an international break. Have they had time to gel? Are they going to start on the bench? It's kind of a few questions. Grealish, ex-City player, signed up for Everton on loan. He's really transformed them. He's just linking the midfield with the attack so much better. He's creating chances. He's scoring goals. He looks like the player that we had a couple of seasons ago. Villa just haven't got going. They never looked like scoring. They've had decent possession. Defensively, at times, they've looked quite good. But it's kind of nothing's falling for them at the minute, and at some point they will, because they're too, as I said, they're too good to carry on like this. Uh, Again, I feel like this game is either going to be 0-0 or it's going to explode and have loads of goals. I feel like the best way you can attack this game is actually the over on the cards. There's going to be a huge midfield battle between Guay probably in the middle, mixed in with a few players like McGinn in the middle for Villa. They love a feisty tackle, and a midfield battle in a team. Villa really need to show some grit and get at least a draw, if not a win, from this because they're struggling so much. Everton at home for I think it's their second ever game at their big new stadium. They're going to have a point to prove. I think there's going to be a few challenges flying in, so I'm going to look at the over cards in that one. But I'm going to go for a boring 0-0 draw in this one. I think they're both going to continue to struggle in front of goal.
All right. We're going to get to our next one, but we do want to tell you our NFL Week 2 props pack is up. Any plays that we have for NFL Week 2 is going to be included from Thursday night all the way through Monday night. Parlays, we went 2-0 on those. We went 8-6 last week, so give me 8-6 every single week, Corbin. Do that math out at the end of the year. If we can do that every week, we'll be very, very happy. So all props, all parlays included, one price, and you're going to get everything. We decided to be high volume in NFL this year, so we're betting a little bit, but just on a lot of plays. We went back to last year, and when we kind of dissected when did we do good, it's when we put all of our favorite plays in. So one low price, you get all of our props and our parlays for NFL Week 2. So all right, back to the real football.
The real football, you know it.
Let's talk Forest and Arsenal. What do you got on this one?
Yeah, this game's another interesting one because Forest just got rid of their manager after taking them to Europe and all of this stuff. And he fell out with the owner. It's clear as day to see that was the problem. That relationship broke down, and now they bring in Ange Postecoglou, who is very polarizing. He was the Spurs manager last year that won them the Europa League, but almost got them relegated and just one place above the drop zone. To me, this is all a question of how quickly does he try to implement his style. He, as I said, it's been international duty. All of his players are pretty much going to have been away with their international teams. If he tries to implement his high pressing, defenders on the halfway line, high line, they're going to get absolutely smoked. Like, Arsenal have a ton of injuries, but it will be 4-5-0. If he comes in and tries to slowly bed it in and continue what Nuno did before him, I think they're still going to lose, but I think it'd be like a 1-0 or a 2-0. Because you have to remember, Arsenal have so many injuries. Saka's obviously injured. I think Odegaard is back now after the international break, but he's a bit banged up. So it's kind of, there's a few midfield and a few defensive injuries, but we always know no matter what team Arsenal put out, they're going to be defensively solid. I think this is a great spot for Arsenal to win to 0. I think there's going to be a few too many ideas floating around. I think Forest is going to take a while for them to adapt. I can't really see them hitting the ground running. You can get Arsenal to win to 0 at plus money, which is always a nice spot to be in, because I really don't see Forest scoring against this team. As I said, Arsenal have got the best defense they have for like 2-3 years in a row. They've lost one of their centre backs, but the guy they're bringing in is still quality. Like, it's not a huge drop off in my opinion. Arsenal at home, Forest do have the pace to counter-attack on Arsenal, but again, if they're pushing high up the pitch, that point's not going to be valid because Arsenal are just going to run through them every time. So it's another, I will lean to the Arsenal to win to 0, but if you turn on this game and you see those defenders not on the edge of their box and anywhere near the halfway line, I am going to play the Arsenal spread -1, -2, -3, sprinkle it, ladder it up like we've done in UFC with total rounds in main events, because I think they've got too much pace. They have Martinelli on the left, who I've been critical of, but he does have pace. Got Gyökeres, who's through the middle, another pacey striker. This will suit him to a T. If they play a high line, he is going to get in behind every time, and he's clinical. So maybe him to score would be a good bet. And then Madueke, who's on the right, where he looks so much more comfortable. He scored for England during the international break, so he's firing. Yeah, if they've got a high line, Gyökeres to score and Arsenal to win comfortably.
All right. Great stuff, Corbin. Thank you so much for the breakdowns. Again, NFL Week 2 props pack is up. These are plays that we bet with our own money, coming off an 8-6 week. Love that winning percentage. You don't want to have a losing percentage, but you also don't want to have like a 10-2 like week where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this isn't sustainable.
You know what's coming the next week.
Yes, exactly. So, all right, Corbin, great stuff. Check out all of our plays at wagertalk.com. Get there faster with a shortcut, wt.buzz/al. Good luck on your plays this weekend. Thanks again, Corbin.
Good luck.